Hello all! It is the morning of Thursday the 16th of September and exciting news! We are leaving the house! Okay, so that's a bit of an exaggeration. We've totally left the house like 3 times this month already. But this time's different because we're going away, we're staying overnight in an actual hotel, which is a thing that we haven't done since before the situation. We're heading down to Leeds. The plan is to hit up the retro arcade tonight and then potter around the city centre tomorrow and just see what we can find. Since that pottering part will probably involve quite a lot of craft shops, I thought you might want to come along with us. So, without further ado, let's get going. First things first, on any road trip, I have got my craft bag packed. I got some bits of cotton yarn for making cup cozies in the passenger seat, but I've also brought this zip bag with some cross stitch. I always kind of thought it would be impossible to stitch in a moving car, but then I've seen a lot of people doing it recently on Instagram, so I don't know, maybe it's worth a shot. Of course, we are only going about an hour and a half away, so I probably won't get bored enough to use any of this, but it's important to be prepared. Okay, so that is obviously the most important part done, right? I think it's probably about time though that I go and put makeup on and actually pack my clothes and stuff. Also, as a side note, I am going to have to film this whole video on my phone, so I'm just really hoping that the audio is good enough to use, otherwise I'm going to end up making a complete idiot of myself in public for no reason. Fingers crossed. It's mid-afternoon and we've just stopped off for a Burger King at a service station. Look at this, right? This is ridiculous. So, we ordered his veggie burger meal like this, had a choice of sides and drinks, all normal so far. But then we tried to order my vegan burger and suddenly all of those options are gone. There's no way to add a Coke. Maybe it's not vegan, but then neither am I just like this burger. Where about a big meat, Burger King? We got round it in the end by just ordering at the till, and we weren't even the only ones asking for the same thing. They should really just add a show non-vegan options button to that machine. Anyway, I do recommend the Vegan Royale if you can manage to order it. Just arrived at the hotel, feels like the height of luxury after a year and a half of sitting in the house. We just need to quickly unpack some stuff and then we're straight off to the arcade to get our money's worth. Hello! Welcome to Arcade Club Leeds. We've got inscrutable Japanese games, old school driving cabs, even older school arcade classics, and then on the second floor there's a weird room full of children playing Fortnite, but I'm not going to film in there for obvious reasons. They do have a VR section, but it's mostly just Beat Saber and Super Hot, which we have at home anyway. Plus, the thought of breathing in someone else's sweaty face remnants doesn't really appeal at the moment. Oh my god, it's Dr. Mario! Yes! Feels good to just be in a city. I always find it makes me feel like more of a real person for some reason. Or is that too dark as a casual offhand comment? I'm a little disappointed there doesn't appear to be a Marble Madness here. Oh well, I absolutely trounced him at Dr. Mario and we played a lot of our favourites like Asteroids and yes, actual ancient Pong. I didn't record anything after the arcade, but the plan is to scuff this in bed and watch crap TV until we fall asleep. This is where we are with the cross-stitch project that I brought. It's Alpine by Satsuma Street, and you can see I've kind of been just jumping around all over the place with it because I don't have all of the colours. So I found a promising looking craft shop on the internet and we will swing by there today and see if we can get the remaining ones. We had a nice lie in and checked out and now I'm giving him the tour of my old haunts in Leeds. Welcome to the Corn Exchange. My best friend went to uni down here and we used to hang out in the Corn Exchange. It's full of really cool little indie shops and I bought the best coat here back in the day. I will insert a completely representative photo of me using it as a blanket while mostly passed out drunk on a park bench at age 18 or so. Best coat ever. Look at the crazy selection of shops in here. I think the only thing that would make it better is if there was a yarn shop. Imagine how cool it would be to have a knitting group in somewhere like this. Okay, we've just come out of this shop, Giant Kitten, and I want basically everything in there. The plan is to swing by on our way back to the car this afternoon and buy a souvenir dress. But they have all sorts of awesome clothes in there, as well as like slightly offbeat home items and random Japanese toys and whatnot. It is just brilliant. Right, this is ridiculous. We've just done our circuit of the shops upstairs, and then suddenly boyfriend spots one we missed downstairs. We must have walked straight past it. Spot anything unusual? What did I just say? This place is perfect for a yarn shop. The owner was literally just opening the doors and setting out our shelves as we got back downstairs, so this was actually perfect timing. I didn't get any video because I was too excited to squish the yarn, but here's some photos instead. This shop is Bellwether Yarns. It's only been open for about 3 weeks, and among the usual suspects, the owner also sells her own hand-dyed yarns of the same brand name. So obviously I had to spend some time agonising about which beautiful colourway to buy. Really wish I'd got some footage, but you can check out her Instagram for more pics. On screen now, and I will link it in the description too. Apparently they do in fact have a knitting group there now too on a Thursday night. We might have to move to Leeds. Alright, he's finally managed to pry me away from the corn exchange, but joke's on him because look where we are now. Oh. Oh my. Turns out they have everything. I'm just grabbing a few bits and pieces since they're somehow much cheaper here than in our local craft shop back home. And he's after some glitter for what are apparently going to be unicorn dice. I could live in this shop. We really might have to move to Leeds. It's now very early afternoon and we've hit our final destination, the City Museum. I am super excited for food, so forgive the size of this egg mayonnaise sandwich, but we could not wait a second longer to eat. Time to go and get educated. I don't know why, but this one display is just like really getting to me. The snails on the left are healthy from a normal pond, and the ones on the right are from a polluted pond. This is making me just really sad. Poor tiny things. On a brighter note, I'm enjoying this display of cultural pride, except for that person from London. I don't know, there's just something in this that makes me smile. It looks like there's a few craft displays up here on the top floor. I did not expect to find a knitting pattern here. Also, whoever was giving out those post-it notes for the culture thing has a lot to answer for because they were everywhere. I guess some people are just compelled to be totally heartwarming. How nice is this? Okay, this is a bit of a shock, to be honest. Like, obviously we're living through something very significant, but I just didn't expect to see it in museums already. This room is all about showing off the collections of specific people. He had this cool old piece of furniture for holding notes and specimens, and a crocodile. Because of course. Just investigating the gift shop before we leave, and I'm honestly not sure what these craft books have to do with anything, but I do like that they're here. Also, Cath Kidston really is everywhere. Oh well, it's a nice museum, but it's officially time to head home. Boo. What the heck? We might have accidentally parked in the poshest car park in all of Leeds. So, the drive home was uneventful, but I did manage to get a bit more crochet done. No cross-stitch, but at least I had the option, right? Now, what I didn't show you yesterday morning, and what you have probably sat through all of this nonsense waiting for, is this. Last week I ordered my biggest ever yarn order by quite some margin, and it wasn't supposed to arrive until early next week, but it actually arrived yesterday about an hour before we had to leave. So I didn't really have time to play with it, and it's been on my mind ever since. It's just sitting here in the kitchen, waiting to be opened. So I think it's about time. Oh my. Oh, that's a lot of yarn. Oh yes. Alright, let's have a quick look. So, I ordered these paint box yarns, which is a brand that I've seen everywhere, I think we probably all have, but I've never used before. So, a little bit of a risk buying blind off the internet, but nowhere around here stocks them, and we have very limited choices locally in general, so sometimes you just gotta take a leap. First impressions, it is super soft. It is exactly the colour that I wanted it to be. I think this is called Vanilla Cream. Let me check my list. Yes, it is. Vanilla Cream, Paint Box Super Chunky. Passes the face squish test. So I've got quite a lot of this. I think it was like 16 balls in total, and some of them have come loose. And some of them have come in a giant bag. Let's just grab that, see what else we uncover. Oh, I feel like a yarn shop. 8 in there, and however many I've pulled out, and probably another 8 in there somewhere else. So, also in the same brand, the Simply Super Chunky, I've got this yellow, which is, let me find the actual shade now. Mustard yellow. Okay, I probably could have just guessed that. I didn't get quite so much of this one because I just wanted to test it. It is a little bit more yellow. Like, it is quite a bright yellow rather than the muted mustard colour that I was kind of maybe hoping for, but I do like it a lot, and I'm excited to see how that works out. Alright, and I needed some pink in the Super Chunky as well. However, the Paint Box yarns didn't really have the kind of shade I was going for, so I ended up buying the Stylecraft version, Stylecraft Special XL Super Chunky, which obviously I've used Stylecraft yarns before. I used the gold shade in Aran for my Lorelei cardigan that you've probably seen me wear a million times, but I didn't expect these balls to be quite so big. It's like practically as big as my head. Oh yeah, I like that. I'm in heaven. Okay, so these are exactly as soft as I would expect. That one's got a little bit of mech on it, but no harm, no foul. I think, again, I wasn't super sure about the shade of pink, but at first glance, it seems like almost exactly what I was looking for, so well done me. And I suppose some credit goes to Stylecraft as well for having the shade that I was looking for. Good old reliable Stylecraft. So I got, I think, 4 of these giant ones. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So, okay. All of this Super Chunky here is going to be made up into cowl and headband sets, or maybe cowl and hat sets. I'm not 100% without checking my spreadsheet. So it's quite a lot of yarn, but it's super chunky and it's going to disappear pretty fast. They're going to be very quick to make. Oh. Couple more still in the box. I guess I ordered more than I thought. Right, what else have we got in here? So, oh, one more orphan ball. I'm pretty sure that's it now. So, I also got some of the Stylecraft Special Aran, which I just mentioned, in the gold, because I liked it so much when I made that cardigan that I kind of wanted to use it again. And they didn't have anything that was slightly lighter, so you can see, let me put this down. The difference in the two yellows is like quite pronounced, but that's okay because these aren't going together into a set of any kind, so who cares? This one is just more gold, as the name would suggest, and this is more bright yellow, as the name would suggest. But yeah, Stylecraft Special, we all know it, we all love it. Feels good on my face, looks pretty. What more is there to say? Let's see, out of 3 of those, 3, 4, is that it? 4? Yep, I'm just checking my little packing slip, just because this is doubling as making sure everything is actually here so that I know if I need to email anybody. never bought this much yarn in one go before. Alright, so as well in the Aran version, I also got more of that same pink, which should be exactly the same shade, I think. Looks like it to me. Again though, these aren't actually going to be in the same sets. The different size of yarn is going to be in a different hat and cowl set. I don't know in hindsight why I planned for 2 different weights of yarn in my hat and cowl sets, but I'm sure past me knew what she was doing. Let's put that there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those as well. So 4 of the pink and 4 of the gold. And then, okay. So I bought the pink sight unseen and I'm very happy with it. I also bought this, which I believe the colour is called Parchment. Is that Parchment? Yes, Stylecraft Special Parchment. At first glance, I've got to say this is a little more grey than I expected it to be if we compare it with the paint box. It's not quite as bright. It's not quite as cream. I don't know, maybe I need to look at that in full daylight because it is tea time here, so it's getting on a little bit. But I don't know, I'll get back to you on that. It's a little bit alarming because I kind of bought a lot of it. We got another 8-pack. Sure. That's what you do when you've never bought a brand. That's what you do when you've never bought a colour before. You buy a ton of it in one go, right? Let's see, how much more do I have? So that's an 8-pack, 9, 10. Still feels good on my face. Can't complain that much. I think that's it. Is that right? 10 parchment? Yes. Okay. So at least I didn't buy 16. I mean, that sounds arbitrary, but that's how many I bought of the paint box, so it's not crazy. Oh, and some more Stylecraft Special, which is in this, I want to call it copper? Copper, confirmed. So I got another 4 of these. Can't go wrong. Brilliant autumn shade. I am so happy with this. I mean, like, look at this. Is there anything more autumn that you have seen in your entire life? I think not. So it's 2, 3, 4. Okay, spot on so far. Well done, Lovecrafts. This is probably a tiny yarn order by most people's standards, but like I said, it's big for me, and I'm just kind of convinced something's going to go wrong. Okay, so that's it for the acrylic. So that is all my kind of cowl hat sets. Actually, I think that might be it. All of that. I'll take a photo for you in a moment, but this is a big pile just to be turned into cowls and hats. Let's hope somebody buys them. But then, in the bottom of this box, I have, rolling around here, I'll get one of each colour because it's more interesting that way. Ooh. Well, I'll get one of 3 colours anyway. I have my Rico Creative Cottons. This is my Aran cotton yarn of choice. It's a little bit more expensive than some other brands that I've seen, but I know what I'm getting with it. I know the shades, I know that it holds up, and I just really like it. I've been using it for years for kind of washcloths and coasters, and at one point a hat, which I guess that wasn't necessarily what it was made for, but I always knew at the time and I didn't know how much fibre choice made a difference in the final thing. So I've got, what are these colours? We've got Fox, pretty well named, Natural, I believe, and Clay, which is like a very, very light brown. I also have Corn, which they have 2 yellows, and I bought this one just kind of from the pictures online. I already have some in the house. I bought it and I thought it was maybe a bit duller than I was hoping for, but then I grew to really like it, so I've gone and bought some more. Maybe I should have tried the other yellow, but if you find a thing you like, why not just stick with it blindly forever, right? So, yes, that is all of the Ricos. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the natural. Yes, and actually it's calling it nature on there, so if you're looking for this and I'm calling it natural, it might actually be called nature. 3, 4, 5 in the fox, 5 in the fox. That's a gibberish statement, but you know what I mean. We've got another 2 corn, meaning 3 total, which, yep, that's right. I guess I wasn't as confident on the corn. And a couple more clay, so 3 clay, which makes sense because I have quite a lot of this in the house already. Alright, I guess that's numbers that my spreadsheet spat out. It all seems kind of arbitrary to me, but again, trusting past me. Now, the one colour that I couldn't get in the creative cotton was a pink. So if you see, again, the Stylecraft pinks that I got, they're kind of a dusky pink. It's not super muted, but it's not super bright. It's just kind of like inoffensive. I'm not the hugest fan of bright pink, so inoffensive was important. So then I was looking at the other brands of cotton yarn that they had on Lovecrafts, and I ended up ordering this, which, again, the colour isn't exactly what I expected. It's maybe a little bit more salmon-y. So this is Yarn and Colours Epic, it says on here. Yes, Yarn and Colours Epic in the colourway Old Pink. I do remember they had a few different pinks, and I looked on Ravelry for people's projects and kind of tried to make an educated guess based on that. Definitely more salmon-y. If we look at it with the Stylecraft side by side, they are nowhere near the same colour. But again, they're for completely different projects, so I don't think it'll matter that much. From a distance, I would say this is still a pretty colour coordinated haul. Alright, so it was 3 of those. No? I'm supposed to have 5 of those? No? I'm reading the wrong line. I am supposed to have 3 of those. Okay. Oh no! No more yarn! But disappointing. But seriously, okay, I need to show you. This is the haul that I am calling disappointing. I think, maybe I need to give myself a good talking to there. Because that is disappointing by nobody's standards. You can definitely see that the Stylecraft parchment on the right is a totally different colour to the vanilla cream paint box in the middle. Again, that's probably the one I'm least enamoured with right now, but I think it's coming out a bit more grey in the late afternoon light as well, so I'll try and get some photos of that in actual direct proper light that isn't giving it that blue tinge. Just got a higgledy-piggledy pile of cottons there, why not? Oh my god, I am so excited! Alright, before I get in trouble, I suppose I better go and actually unpack everything else. In case you were wondering, we did go back via Giant Kitten and I got this brilliant map dress. It doesn't really fit any of my self-imposed wardrobe rules, but I mean, it's a map dress. I'm so excited for this yarn too. There's absolutely no way it's getting made into anything in time for this Halloween, but maybe next year. Also super excited to try needle felting at some point, so I picked these up from Fred Aldous on a whim. I don't even know if they're the right thing, but whatever. Yay, craft shopping! Alright, this vlog is probably getting quite long, so I better leave it there. Tomorrow I will have to find storage space for all of that new yarn, but for tonight I think it is time to Netflix and chill in the actual literal sense of the phrase. In case you can't tell, we had a brilliant couple of days in Leeds and it was really good to be out of the house. Even if I am getting a bit too old for arcades and have some quite bad bruises on my back from the Outrun 2 cap. If you're a knitter or crocheter in Leeds, I can definitely recommend checking out Bellwether Yarns down in the Corn Exchange. The owner is lovely and I just really hope she does well and gets to stick around there for a really long time. And of course, if you need basically any other craft supply in existence, Fred Aldous has probably got you covered. People in Leeds are so lucky. It is back to the normal routine for us next week, but at least I'll be doing it with a ton of new yarn. Could be worse, really. Alright, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much, as per usual. I hope you enjoyed coming with us on our little jaunt to Leeds. If you did, please consider leaving me a like down below the video, it helps a lot. Over to you. Are there any craft stops that we missed in Leeds? Does your city have something like the Corn Exchange that I should totally add to my bucket list? What should I make with the crazy Halloween yarn? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I am off to veg out for the rest of the night with no regrets. Thanks for watching, have a brilliant rest of your day, and keep making cool stuff. Bye!